Welcome to this Danish Board of District Heating podcast. Today, I have invited two experts to share their opinion about the magazine Hot Cools. The next theme is called Going Green. No? It will also be about going green, but definitely also about going green. No? Meaning we don't necessarily aim at the total green solution in the first step, and today we will also, but this step-to-step approach is what the theme is also about. I mentioned the two experts, and I'll leave it to themselves to introduce, or I will introduce them in a second a little bit more, but I'll ask a question to you first. It all comes out that you have met in Croatia. So, Johan from Egedal District Heating, you visited Croatia a few weeks back. What did you learn? What was your greatest experience there?
Well, my greatest experience, I can tell you what I saw or what I experienced. I saw a few old district heating systems, mainly used for heating and not for hot water production. They were using a lot of fossil fuels. So systems were a bit old in that way. But I also saw a lot of potential for going greener and making the systems better at the same time. And there's also a potential for expansion. I think, in at least some of the cities. So it was a good experience.
Good. Over to you, Hrvoje. You are from Croatia, and you had the Danish delegation coming to your organization these 2 weeks ago, and Johan was there. What did you learn from them?
Well, I'm still inspired with the level the district heating is positioned in Denmark. I had the opportunity to visit Denmark a couple of years ago, and I'm still inspired with how strongly district heating is backed up in Denmark. Especially, I know 2/3 of Denmark is covered with district heating, and the countries, Croatia and Denmark, are by the size more alike. And also the level of renewable sources used in DH systems, actually not only renewable sources, every kind of excess heat, everything is used. And especially I'm also especially interested is the solar power is used very strongly, and we in Croatia have, I think, double quantity of the solar power, and we don't use it at all. So there is really a huge potential. And if I look what Denmark is using and what Denmark does have and what Croatia might use, there is really a huge potential. Also, the level of support for district heating in Denmark by the people, by the government is very high. This is not the case in Croatia. All of that gives us actually the hope to persevere and to go into that direction also with district heating in Croatia.
Good. Thank you very much. Now, I would like to hear from both of you a little bit of the background of your district heating company. Hrvoje, can you please introduce us a few words about yourself, give us some background on Croatia, and dig a little bit deeper into the situation in your city?
Mm-hmm. So I personally have quite an interesting professional experience. I am electrical engineer by the education, but ended up 20 years in finance, and since a couple of years, so like the last 6 years, I am in the energy sector, meaning in this company. Back to the roots, to the engineering roots, so to say. The company itself is established around 50 years ago with the aim to introduce the district heating in the city of Karlovac. It was, for the Croatian terms, pretty ambitious. At that time, there weren't many district heating systems. The company itself is covering around half of the urban part of our city. We are heating around 7,800 customers, mostly residential, 7,500 out of that is residential. We heat around 500,000 square meter of heat service. Our pipeline network is 42 kilometers of pipes, and with the power of 60 megawatts. We have a star-shaped pipeline system. We deliver around 50 gigawatt hours of heat per year, and the company itself has 49 employees in this moment. Our main challenges is, of course, as also Johan said, the old technology, the dependency on the fossil fuels. We need to introduce certain kinds of automation. We have to optimize the processes. Currently, we are in the project of introducing the renewation of our existing heating pipeline system. We will recover around 3/4 of the system, which will, of course, brings us a huge step forward towards using renewable resources. And there are also quite a lot of things we can improve. For example, what I have also learned from Denmark. Denmark is heating their systems 12 months per year, 24/7 regime. We do it only 8 months from autumn till end of spring, and we do it so we have summer standstill, and we shut down the heating every night at 22 hours, and we start again in the morning around 5. So this is all of that is pretty bad for the pipeline, and this is what we have learned, and this is what we have in mind. Regarding general challenges, we have to move forward towards going green, not greener, but we have to first become green, then greener. We have to also do energetic zoning in our city. This is something what is common and normal in Denmark. In Karlovac, we are interlaced with a natural gas network, so the customer can choose. This is also bad for the development of pipeline. And also the legal frame, the state legal frame in Croatia is something we have to work on in order to bring it to the level that it is clear and concise and usable for the system. Also, regarding the renewable resources, we are looking forward for geothermal. We have geothermal resources near city, and it is the project is in the process, but it will take a couple of years. We also have the newly built cogeneration plant on biomass. We are working with the other company to join with the pipeline and to have at least half of our heat in our pipes from a renewable source. And of course, with 2 renewable sources, we cannot go wrong.
Okay, thank you very much. I think we'll return to you and hear a little bit more about Croatia maybe later in the talk. Now, Johan, you took over as boss in Egedal district heating some months ago. I can't even remember when it was. And you have big plans for expansions and new heat sources and going green. Tell us a little bit about your background.
Yes, well, I'm a marine engineer, and I'm 55 years old now, and I started working in district heating when I was 24. So I've been doing that for a couple of years. Maybe I will never get away from it before I retire, but that's just the way it is. It suits me. Yeah, well, I started in Egedal in May. We got Egedal district heating is a small company. We only have around 800 customers and sell 25 gigawatt hours per year. But Egedal Municipality wants us to expand district heating so we can cover the whole municipality. So I think within the next 7 years, we will sell around 120 gigawatt hours of district heating every year. So right now we are marketing district heating, getting new customers on board, and we also have to find new green heat sources so we can deliver green heat to everybody who wants it. So, and that's a huge task as well. Marketing is going okay. It looks like around 70% of the people who are offered district heating now will say yes. So
the conversion, the people who's now on gas, and you tell them, why don't you change to natural gas? 70% is saying yes to that offer.
Yes, it looks like we will hit 70%. So that is all right. I mean, it could be better, of course, but this district heating is still new in Egedal. So I think in a couple of years, the percentage will be higher. The Danish people know that you have to move away from fossil fuels. A lot of them are using natural gas. A few of them is using oil, and they are starting to get the message from the government. They're starting to understand the message that we can't keep on using natural gas. So they got a choice. They can use district heating or change to a heat pump. And district heating will be the best solution for them.
Of course.
Yeah, of course.
Of course. More facts about Egedal we should know now?
No, not right now.
No. Okay. Yes, do it. Johan, did you mark?
Yes. Well, there are a few facts, of course. The main part of our heat is produced on local biomass. Right now we get surplus wood from the surrounding forest in a 20-kilometer radius. We also have some solar panels. So in the summertime, the demand for hot water is covered by our solar panels. And next month we'll start doing the tender for heat pump on sewage water. So that will be ready within the next 18 months. So we have a small heat pump on sewage water as well. And that is the way we will develop the system. When we get new customers, then we have to build more production as well.
And how green are you today in percentage? Do you know that number?
How green are we? Well, we say that our wood chips, they are around 96% carbon neutral. Of course, there will be a bit of transport and some manufacturing going into it. But if we didn't use that biomass, it would just rot away in the forest and emit carbon.
Mm. Okay.
So we are pretty green. We still have two small CHP engines. One of them will be shut down. They're on natural gas. One of them will be shut down by the end of next year, and the other one 2 years after that. So in 3 years' time, we will be very green. But yeah, we will shut them down where we can.
Super. Back to Karlovac. Johan said they're converting a lot of natural gas customers. That is, of course, also a part of going greener, helping people to move away from a fossil fuel. Is that part of your plan as well in Croatia?
Of course. We have many plans. One of them is also, there was a couple of years ago, our local energy company, consulting company in the region, came with an idea for the people to sell the rest of their wood after processing the fallen wood, and to use this to acquire a wood chipping machine and then to use it. But currently it's just a plan. Actually, Croatia currently is working on a document for using any kind of green energy, but I have to say definitely not as near as Denmark regarding ambitions and possibilities. Most of it is actually postponed up to 2030, according to the latest document. What is pity, because some things you can use right now. You shouldn't wait 10 years to use it. I just wanted to ask Johan, what's the ownership structure of your company?
Well, our company is owned by the municipality. Mm-hmm. So we got one stockholder. It's a stock company, so we got one stockholder, and that's the municipality. So I'm the director of the company, and we got a board who's taking care of the business. I'm taking care of the business with the board, and that's it.
Because this is pretty much like here in Croatia, we are owned by city of Karlovac. Mm. And what I actually seen when I was in Denmark is that actually some of the district heating plants are owned by the citizens themselves.
Yes.
So this sounds like utopia for us, but it works very well. This is something what I wanted just to emphasize. Currently, I can't imagine in Croatia that it would easily work. So when you mentioned you will bring 70% of the customers. And I got the impression, maybe I was wrong, that it's not such a big number, or let's say that you are not quite happy with it. I would be very happy with at least 30 or 40 and not just 70.
Yeah, yes, but I would like 80. So, yeah.
80 is better than 70, but yes. For the start, 70 is, I would say, perfect.
Yes, it is good. It is good. That's fine. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But also, if I may comment, you said you had your customers or potential customers had clear message from your government. So this is something also very nice, because we normally don't have such a support, at least the heating sector, from government. They have probably some more important business to do. So in my impression, district heating is always somewhere on the end of the queue of the problems, and as long as it works and the prices are okay, it's not a problem. So this is also one of the reasons why we don't develop the sector as we might. Just wanted to comment to reflect on your work.
Yes. The Danish government is really focused about us getting away from using fossil fuels. So they want to get rid of all natural gas boilers and all oil boilers as well, and they are helping us by giving us the best laws they can, and of course giving some fundings as well. If you live in an area where you can't get district heating, you can get a bit of money when you want to install your own heat pump. So everybody knows that we have to move away from fossil fuels, and the government helps us to do it.
I would like to then, Johan, it's interesting what you say there, is you mentioned the national government. That's what I hear. But and you're owned by the municipality, meaning that your board is some elect members from the city council.
Yes.
Is it you telling them which way you're going, or are they giving you directions to better get green soon because Egedal and municipality have ambitions? Which way is where is it coming from, and what would the best solution be? We won't tell them, but you can share with us and our listeners.
Yes. Well, there's a very strong focus from the city council on district heating, and there's also a strong focus on us being green. They have approved of the projects in Egedal with the expansion projects. So they have seen our calculations and other calculations, so that they know it's the best solution for everybody, for the individual customer and for the society as well. So there is a strong focus, but of course they set a goal, and then it's up to me to find out how we reach that goal. So I have to show them now how we can get there. and and that's my job. I'll do that in cooperation with our board. So there's and the focus is from the city hall and also from us. So we want to go green. That's one of the reasons why we work here. We want to help out. We want Denmark to go green. That's one of the reasons.
Yeah. And you, Hrvoje, where's the city council in you? How do you work with them? Are they setting the guidelines, and are they pushing you?
Well, as long as we don't speak much about the prices and the investment and the development requiring money, I don't have a problem. I find myself sometimes too advanced in my thinking about what should we do and how should we develop. And of course, for the development, you have to have the consent of your owner and from your customers, because for the development you need money, and for the money you have to bring it either from the prices or you have to have some kind of grants or something like that. The trouble is that the perception of the price is in a way, in my opinion, a bit wrong, because the district heating as a service is from the level of the service pretty high, especially in Karlovac. When you enter the apartment in Karlovac, everything is ready for you. When something is wrong, the district heating company will come and repair. So you ask this is one-stop shop. You have some problem, you ask this heating company to repair, to help, to complain, and so on. But the perception is, okay, it should be on the level of the cost of, I don't know, wood, personal burning of the wood, because this is everything. This is heating both, but they don't take it into account that actually our system is much more complicated and more required. In terms of that, every kind of discussion regarding improving the service or investing, what requires price increase, has a low chance to succeed. So besides our regular problems, our regular challenges like ruptures on pipeline and old production and so on, when you say, okay, then we should invest, then you have some kind of barrier to push. Regarding city, I can't really complain. They are acting also like in Johan's case, they are supporting, or generally they don't block some improvements. The problem is actually that the general perception of the service comparing to Denmark is low, and then every kind of planning, every kind of development would be challenging to push. Only probably with EU money, this is something what is interesting, because it's not our money, so to say, it's the money from you, then it should be done because you have to take the money and use it properly. But the development as a normal DNA of any company is something which we are struggling a bit. So I would say it works. We are supported, but the general public, and also a part of our owner as a part of general public in a way, we will have problems to push some development to introduce something more advanced.
Okay. But I got a question for you, because you are talking about the problems when you have to invest, but you were talking about the biomass plant as well, that you can start using heat from that one. Will it be possible for you to use the heat from the biomass plant in a way so you can lower your prices and then have money to invest in something else?
I am very, very optimistic regarding biomass plant, because there are three parties, so to say. So the biomass plant itself, we as district heating provider, the city of Karlovac, okay, and of course our customers. So I don't think any of these parties doesn't support the introduction of the biomass energy in our pipeline. So we are all for it. Of course, the citizens wouldn't like to increase the price. Actually, no one would like to see a huge price if it's not sustainable. Also, the biomass plant itself. So I am very optimistic. I hope, if not in 1 year, in 2 years, we will connect, because they are ready to connect. What we only miss is the pipeline. And currently, they are also, the biomass plant is also interested to invest in pipeline by themselves, because they have excess heat. Then it's better to use it than not to use it, so to say. This is something what we're really looking forward. I don't see it will not hurt. It will, in 2 years we are there. I'm very sure.
I would maybe, of course, one thing is price and one thing is the local authority. And of course, if they set the driver, I think there's also something about the marketing of district heating and how to change perception of district heating. Johan, you have experience from 2 different district heating companies within the last half year. And Johan and I were actually just in England, and there you told that even though there's, say, 30 kilometers, 20 kilometers between the 2 municipalities you worked in, not far anyway. There are 2 very different approaches to what people think about district heating. Maybe you can elaborate a bit on that, and maybe Hrvoje, you can just comment when Johan is done with that.
Yes, in Gentofte, I worked in Gentofte and Gladsaxe. That's on one side of Copenhagen. Generally, an area with large houses, people having good jobs, and they are very concerned about the future of the planet. They don't lack money. So the really important message to them is that if you choose district heating, you're going green. That's one big driver for them. And the other very important thing for them is that district heating is convenient. As you saw, like you do in Croatia, it's a service for them. Usually in Denmark, you own your own district heating unit, and you have to make sure that it works and call your own plumber. But we introduced a model where we could own the district heating unit, and we could take care of everything, the installment, and making sure that it worked. So that's another big driver in Gentofte and Gladsaxe, the convenience, and it's green. Right now, I'm in Egedal, and they think more about the price of energy. Of course, they like I've introduced the same model where we own the district heating unit, and they like that because they don't have to worry about a big bill when something breaks down. And they also know how much money they're spending every month. But they look at the price, the energy price as well, a lot more than they did in Gentofte and Gladsaxe. When people look at the price, then you have to talk in another way. You have to tell them other things, but you shouldn't look at the price right now. But right now, district heating is really cheap compared to natural gas in Egedal because of the high natural gas price. But I know it can be different in maybe 2 or 3 years' time. But what we have to talk about with them now is that, well, if you look at it over the next 10 years, the next 15 years, the next 20 years, we got a very good opportunity. We got the possibility to keep the price low because we know we can plan our investment and we can make sure that we get the cheapest green energy source into the system. And in that way, we can make sure that you know how much money you have to spend on heating. And that's important right now. I can see that. But 6 months ago in Egedal, I don't think they would have been so happy about district heating as they are now, because back then the gas price was low. So we try not to talk too much about the price, but about the amount of money they have to spend every year, and that they can be certain that there will be a price. So that's important as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's really important to keep your customer in focus. That's also what you're saying, and they are different from different areas. And so
yes, they are different. They are different, but they want the same product, but we have to tell them different things.
Mm-hmm. So, if I may ask you, then speaking about customers, do you have some general suggestion how to bring the Croatian customers to the Danish level in terms of district heating image? So how to bring them that they appreciate district heating, because you also have experience of, let's say, different approaches.
Yes.
And how to motivate them to go green, what doesn't necessarily have to be expensive, but definitely a good way, but doesn't have to be expensive.
Yes. If it's possible to make people proud of what they are part of, then you will bring them to another level. What's in Egedal right now, they are happy about that we are using wood chips from the local forest, and when we tell them that we are using surplus heat from the wastewater, we will be using that in 18 months, then they're happy as well. So because they know that it's local resources that we are using, so it's not imported natural gas or oil or imported wood chips. They're very happy about us producing the heat locally and using local heat sources. So that's one of the things that is important in Egedal. And I think a lot of smaller district heating companies got started in Denmark by the customers, because they got aware that if they invested in something, maybe 200 houses, 300 houses, 400 houses, they could make it better, cheaper, and more efficient than if they had to invest in a system by themselves. So that's if you can get that small community somewhere to get involved into a project, and they can see the benefits, and it won't cost them too much. They can maybe it will cost them a little bit on top, but if you can do that, or you can even make it cheaper to their current solution, then I think you have to do that. You have to get small pots of people being happy about district heating, and then it can evolve from there.
The local patriotism idea.
Yes.
This might work.
This might work.
This might work. We just have to find the recipe for that.
Yes.
It creates local jobs. It creates local activities. More people, even if they don't get heat from the district heating system, will benefit from it. Maybe it can add value to the forest industry that you can actually buy for a very small amount of money, but still a little bit extra, the surplus wood or wood chips from the forest. So there's a lot of good things for the local community. Podcasts tend to be very long. And I know if it comes to district heating, the three of us could continue for hours. Anyhow, I think it's time to round off and say a big thank you to both Johan and to Hrvoje for this. But before we do that, and before we all send our applauses to each other, do you have a final comment? And it's a one-liner. If you should switch jobs, I don't know what to put. What is the best? It's a general recommendation I'm looking for everybody in Europe or in the world. You have a district heating company. It's not very green. What is the first step you'll do? Let's start in Croatia. What is the first thing people should do? Your recommendation. We are all waiting for your golden words.
I would say following. Promote the Danish district heating situation and those that it works, it's not expensive, and it's really something to do. Because if I look at it in totally, everything is in its place. Price, positioning, people, everything is in its place. So it works in Denmark, it can work also elsewhere. For all of us, not for all of us in the situation of, let's say, problematic district heating situations, we have to look at the Denmark's case, which is a real proof of concept of work. And my message would be promote your district heating success.
Thank you. Johan, your turn, and an advice to the world.
To the world, yeah. Well, I would just say that for district heating to work, planning is key. You have to know where you want to be in 10 years' time. And we know that the world is not stable. You know that energy prices going up and down, and it doesn't look like things are getting cheaper. So always make sure that you got high efficiency and you got a reasonable mix of heat sources. So you will be able to navigate if the power is expensive or the wood chips are expensive, and vice versa. So make sure that you create a very good system with a good mix, and make sure that you know where you want to be in 10 years' time and plan the route. And I can hear that you are going in that direction in Karlovac. So that's nice to hear.
Thanks.
Okay. Thank you both. It has been very informative and very enriching. And if we make it simple, plan well and seek inspiration from somebody who has already been successful. And that might be from a Danish situation. Thank you for taking the time, and good luck with your continued work.
You're welcome.